Is always with a little sad tear in your eye when some of these great buildings get torn down. You know, they're part of the fabric of Miami, and that building got photographed a lot of times by the people. So while you can't see it, it lives on in photography. We've got quite a bit of photography on it. Grand Bay Hotel. That was a great hotel down in Coconut Grove. There wasn't much going on in Coconut Grove down at that time. And it came from Woody Weiser and Continental Companies. We had done 2 other hotels for them, one the Sheraton Palm Beach back in the early or very beginning of the 70s, and then also the Sheraton River House. So this was their 3rd hotel, and they were going to started off as a glorified Sheraton, and then they gradually sold the Sheraton River House. They decided to put more money into this and turned it into a 5-star hotel, which was kind of neat. It was a classical hotel. Michael Jackson was there for the opening, and had that, what was the name of the club up on top? And the French woman that she turned it into a nightclub up top, which was a lot of fun. But he brought a lot of movie stars in there and everything. So back in the day, it was pretty cool.
At that time, I was just a draftsman on the project, and at the time there were only 8 of us in the office, but he needed help getting the drawings done. This predated computers, predated even the precursors to computers with the layers and stuff. This was basically lead on paper, and you just had to coordinate from sheet to sheet to make sure that your column grid dimensions were all the same. You had to literally do it by hand.
Probably some of the biggest challenges with that particular hotel are working within the zoning envelope, which is totally different today. You can build higher, bigger, everything.
Back then, Coconut Grove was very much still a low-rise, kind of bohemian type area. And this project bumped right up against the height restrictions in the area. And as a consequence, our floor-to-floors were very tight. We had 8 feet clear on all the floors, including the bar at the top floor had 8-foot ceilings. And even then, it was still very controversial. Neighbors came out to protest, but we finally did get it approved.
I think the lobby, when you walked into that lobby, and you got out underneath the building, it was a 2-story high lobby for parts of it, and then other parts were 1-story. But it had all the old square 12 by 12 Satillo tile in there that was highly waxed, and it was very, very rich and very warm and comforting, and people loved that lobby. It was a very very intimate style lobby, which as opposed to just grandiose, and that made it kind of neat.
You know, the building turned out very dynamic. It was definitely worth the trouble. As you know, the project was a kind of a tiered design, so we had to draw every floor. Every floor was a little different. The stairs tumbling down the front of the building was something that we thought really needed to be reinvented.
It was hard to see it get torn down, even though we did get to build, new buildings on the site. As always with a little sad tear in your eye when some of these great buildings get torn down.